Happy Flexibility Friday. Through September and October, we're gonna focus so much on the shoulders and the muscles that surround the shoulders that might make the shoulders feel a little bit tight or a little bit stiff. So I'm gonna try not to talk a whole lot. A lot of times I know I do, so I'm gonna start right into our stretching. So we're gonna start on the hands and knees, go back into a child's pose. Press the shoulders gently to the floor. The forehead could rest gently down. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, flip it over. Palms are up. Press those arms down gently. Again, take a big breath in. As you exhale, flip it back over. Let's bring it on up to our hands and knees. We're going to have the left hand behind the head, nice long back. We're going to close it up, bringing the left arm toward the right arm, and then open through the chest and shoulders. As you keep it going, think about moving through that middle back. Get a little bit of movement through that thoracic spine. One more to go on the side. Now, as you close it up, thread the needle, cross that arm under. You want to position it so you feel a comfortable, pain-free stretch through the left shoulder. So play around with that positioning. You might lean it more toward the left, or you might press that right arm down toward the ground. Again, take a big breath in. As you exhale, back up to your hands and knees. Let's bring the right hand behind the head, and then we'll close it up and open. So as you keep it going, yes, you're moving through that middle back, keeping that back long, abs are in. Add just a little bit of pause when you're on the top. Let's do that one more time. And then close it up, thread the needle. Again, find that position so you feel a comfortable stretch through that right shoulder. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, release out of it. Okay, for the next couple ones, I'm going to use a foam roller. I know all the stations have a foam roller, or they should. If you don't have a foam roller, you can modify and do this on the floor, but you'll have to modify some of them because you won't be able to roll. So you want your whole head on the foam roller so it's supported. Abs are in. Make sure that lower back is gently anchored down. And we're going to open the arms to the side. Let those shoulders just drop down toward the floor. If the chest and shoulders are really tight, this probably feels really good just to get that stretch. Now from here, we're gonna have snow angels or foam roller angels. So we're gonna bring the arms up and back around. Range of movement is what's comfortable and pain-free for your shoulders and your body. The movement could be big or small. Just a reminder, don't let the back arch. Keep those ribs in. Lower back is gently anchored down toward the foam roller. Now we're going to bring them down to an angle. We're going to keep them there. Just going to relax the shoulders. The hands could stay on the ground, or you could bring them up, either one. And now we're going to go shoulder blade to shoulder blade. Again, the movement could be small or a little bit bigger. You're going to try to keep that torso parallel to the floor, so try not to tilt. And it's a nice, slow, controlled movement, so you're not rushing through it. And you'll bring it back to the center. Now we're going to bring our arms out like a T, and we're going to do the exact same thing, shoulder blade to shoulder blade. Now I move my feet with me, but you can keep the feet planted. You don't have to move the feet. and back to the center, back to where you started. Now you're gonna bring your arms up as far as what's comfortable, still kind of making a V shape, and you're gonna do the same thing. Shoulder blade to shoulder blade. About 6 times. If you're like, wow, this is great, it feels good, I can feel it, getting a little stretch. You can go to 6 to 8 times, just depending on how much time you have. And then bring it to the center. Now we're gonna bring ourselves up because we're going to switch the position of the foam roller. Now we're gonna roll more on the side. So one arm extends, other arm could be on your waist, on your leg, wherever you want it to be. And I'm gonna roll from my arm, about my armpit, all the way down to my hips. Again, you could keep this smaller. It doesn't have to be such a big roll. You could be a little bit more on your back, just depending on how you feel that stretch. And again, it shouldn't take your breath away. You see that I'm leaving the camera. So about 6 to each side. So I will flip onto the other side. Find that positioning that works for you. And again, big or small. Where you feel it, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, depending on what feels tight. And again, pain-free. And release it. Now we're going to keep the foam roller there, and we're going to go back into that child's pose. We're going to have the palms facing each other. Start with the foam roller in a bit, and then we're going to roll out and come back in. And roll out. Once you're out, let the shoulders and chest drop, a little pause, and come back. Roll out. Again, let the shoulders and chest kind of drop and come back. Let's do that one more time, just one more. And bring it on in. Okay, I'm putting that foam roller off to the side. Now we're gonna have windmills for the shoulders. For some people, it feels better to have a yoga block between their legs. Depends on you. So I'm gonna keep that yoga block there. We're gonna start with the arms overhead, hips are stacked. Then we're gonna bring that arm around and then overhead and open. Actually, let's have both arms open here and bring it back around. Now, if you can, try to keep those fingers as close to the ground or on the ground as you can. One side will stay stationary as the other side circles over. If you have to lift that arm up to bring it over, that's fine. If you can't make that full circle, do what you can. Move within your range of movement. I'm gonna go one more time, and then I'm gonna keep it open. I'm gonna press the shoulders down gently. Reach out with that left arm. So if your legs are to the right, I'm gonna slightly squeeze the yoga block and kind of reach out with that left arm, either looking up or away from the legs. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, relax the muscles, let them kind of melt down. And then we'll bring the knees up over to the other side. And we'll start with those arms closed. Kind of stack those hips. And then, yep, same thing. Open up, extend out through those fingertips, and come on back. The head is moving with you, so you're not going to keep the head looking at the closed up hands. But let it open as you open through the shoulders and through the chest. Six to 8. Now we're doing this at the end for flexibility, but this particular movement is also a great mobility for the shoulders, a great warm-up. We are going to hold it open. I'm going to press the legs together or press them on the yoga block, either looking up or away from the legs, shoulders pressed down. And nice deep breathing here. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let those muscles relax and just melt toward the mat. And we're gonna bring it up. Let's get rid of the yoga block. You can either roll up or flip over to your hands and knees. But we're just gonna come into a seated position. Once we're nice and tall, think about stacking the shoulders right on top of those hips. Chin's tucked in a little bit. Let's bring those arms back and open them up. Pretend you're gonna touch your elbows together behind you. And we're gonna stretch it up, one arm down. Now, if you're leaning over to the right, you're gonna press the left hip down. If you're leaning to the left, you're gonna press the right hip down. So you just don't wanna lean to the side. You want those hips to press down gently into the mat. As you're here, feel the stretching through the ribs. And then bring it up and just switch other side. Whatever arm is up and over, that's the side of the hips you wanna press down gently. Bring it back to the center. Let's bring the hands behind the head again and open up. And we're gonna reach them up, exhale, and pull it down. Reach it up, exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. One more time. We're gonna bring it up, bring it down, and relax. Wiggle those shoulders so they're nice and loose, still sitting up tall. We're gonna tilt our head toward the right. Bring the left arm behind you to the right and the right arm to the side. Press down gently through that left shoulder. Now, as you're here with those lips slightly apart, we're gonna gaze up toward the ceiling. Bring it to the center, gaze down toward the thigh. Back to the center and up. Relax those arms. We're gonna tilt the head first. Then bring the right arm around, left hand to the side. If you bring the hands over first and then tilt the head, it's okay, either one. Again, with those lips slightly apart, gaze up toward the ceiling. Back to the center, gaze down to the ground. Back to the center and bring it up. Relax those shoulders. Bring them up and back. You can move the whole arm if you want. You can just roll the shoulders. But now we're gonna take a big breath in. Think about making space through the vertebrae. Make that back long. And exhale. One last time. Take a big breath in. Stretch that back. And release it. Hopefully those shoulders are feeling a little bit better. I'll see you next week for another routine for those shoulders.